And right now we are learning about a life-threatening situation happening northwest of San Antonio in Kerrville right now. Flash flooding along the Guadalupe River. Rania Kaur with our sister station Kent is covering the situation right now this morning. She's right next to the river, in fact. She spoke with Kerrville police about what's going on.
Right now, we're on the phone with Sergeant Jonathan Lamb with the Kerrville Police Department. He's the one that's been keeping me updated on this evolving situation. And Sergeant, what can you tell us right now? You mentioned just a little bit ago that swift water assets are on their way.
Hey, good morning, Ron. Yeah, it's been a hectic morning for our Kerrville Police Department and our Kerrville Fire Department. They're conducting rescues this morning and evacuations from flooded areas. We know we have some people who are unable to get out. Those people are sheltering in place safely right now, and we have some swift water rescue apparatuses on our way. And some of those are arriving now through our mutual aid agreements with other police and fire departments around the area. The last word that we had from the National Weather Service was that the river was expected to crest around 9 in the morning. So that's about an hour and 15 minutes from now. And they said they estimated the water height would be 29 feet. So we don't think the worst is over yet. We're asking anyone in town lives anywhere near the Guadalupe River to evacuate if you can do so safely. If you can't evacuate, reach out to us, let us know that you need evacuation, and we will get to you as quickly as possible. Our fire department and our police department are continuing to conduct evacuations and rescues right now. And our reunification area is Walmart. That's 2106 Junction Highway in Kerrville, and we are working on getting a actual indoor shelter set up. When we have that information, we'll push that out. We ask folks to not call 911 with requests for flooding updates. Our dispatchers are extremely busy. Monitor your local news station, radio stations, and our social media page, and we will push out updates as quickly as we can.
Sergeant Lamb, at this point, have you guys conducted any water rescues, or are you not able to, again, because you don't have that equipment just yet?
No, we have been conducting many water rescues overnight into the morning hours. I think this started around 04, and the last 3 or 4 hours, our guys have been out wading through water and getting people to safety. I don't have specifics on that because the guys who are doing that are still out there doing that. I'm just hearing it on the radio. They're pulling people out of vehicles. They're pulling people out of homes and apartments that are flooded and getting them to safety.
Where is that equipment coming from, Sergeant?
I don't have specifics on which agencies are bringing that. I just know that's through our emergency management center that we're bringing that in.
Sergeant, how long do we know what the estimated time of arrival is for that equipment that's coming?
Yeah, I really don't. I just know that it's en route.
Sergeant, from where I'm standing on Sidney Baker Street, we're able to see a house. Do we know the number of homes or apartment buildings that are impacted along the Guadalupe River right now?
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have that kind of specific information and won't be able to get that to y'all for a while.
Sergeant, what's the biggest thing you want people to know at this point? Is there any reports of anybody missing?
I don't have that information. The most important thing that I would say right now to anyone who can hear me is if you live within 100 yards or so of the Guadalupe River, and it looks like, again, the river is not crested yet, we ask you to move to a safe location as quickly as possible. Don't wait. And we would also ask that if you're not able to get to safety, to let us know, and we will get to you as quickly as we can.
Sergeant, you mentioned that there were some streets that were experiencing some localized flooding. Are those the same streets? Are there more streets at this point now?
I don't have a complete list, but I can give you a partial list. Of course, this is subject to change, but what I do know right now is Arcadia Loop is flooded. Thompson Drive is flooded. Guadalupe Street is flooded. Lowry Street is flooded. South Lewis is flooded. Herzog and Loop 13, that area is flooded. Portions of Guadalupe Street from Francisco Limas on are flooded. The Francisco Limas Bridge is impassable and been closed. Portions of Broadway from about G Street to Schreiner University has been closed. Riverside Drive is closed, and other streets, side streets in that area are also affected. And again, I don't have a complete list, and that is subject to change as the situation develops.
More than a dozen streets flooded, people stuck in their homes, swiftwater rescues happening. That is a lot happening right now.
Yeah, and he said there was a reunification area at the Walmart and gave the address to locals in that area. Again, this is in Kerrville, so if you're not familiar with that area, that is northwest of San Antonio, about 3.5 hours away from here. And Kim Castro, we saw debris flying, and this is a day where it's a holiday, so people are waking up. They're not tuning in like they normally would to go to work, so this could really catch people off guard, and they could be one of the people trapped.
Yeah, that actually brings me a ton of concern, and a couple different things that I picked up from the sergeant. You know, not to call 911 because they're so overwhelmed. You don't really typically hear police departments advising that. So what I do advise you, if you are under this flash flood emergency, is you need to seek higher ground. So if you weren't able to safely evacuate before that rushing water got to your home, you need to get to the highest level of your home. If you could get to the roof somehow, that's a great idea. And then just wait it out for, again, that equipment to get there and for help to get to your particular neighborhood. But the flash flood emergency is ongoing from now through the noon hour. This is catastrophic amount of rainfall that has been accumulating over the last 6 and even 12 hours. These storms that don't move are a huge threat, and they become a threat extremely fast. Rainfall rates still at about 1 inch to 2 inches in these darker red spots, and so this continues to impact the areas that are warned. So Kerrville, eventually that'll start flowing downstream towards San Antonio, towards New Braunfels. This is a live loop over the last 6 hours. I want to show you some of these rainfall totals. Just in the last 6 hours, Kerrville's gotten about 5 inches of rainfall. If I throw it back to 12 hours, these bright pink spots, that signals closer towards 10 inches of rainfall. Same thing upstream, 8 to 10 inches in just 6 hours. Let's loop it back to 12 hours, and there are bullseye spots that have picked up closer to 15 inches of rainfall. That is why this particular area is under an emergency. And you'll notice the river is highlighted. This is some major river flooding that we're talking about. That crests, or that river flood stage, is at a major level at 22 feet. Right now, we're working our way up to 30 feet. As you heard the sergeant, this is expected to crest in the next hour, but we're still going to be under a major flood stage in Kerrville through about the lunchtime, which is why, Cheetah, we've got that emergency from the National Weather Service until lunchtime.
Yeah, they're using language at their highest threat possible, life-threatening flash flooding.